Pal, didn't I just say that? Roy Jones Jr., baby, is going to be that way. Roy Jones just talked about Canelo Alvarez versus Bivol. And y'all might not like what he got to say, but I'm going to talk about it in this video. Stay tuned. Payal. What up, fight world? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Roy Jones Jr., he is involved in a new boxing podcast, if you will. It's a collective of Paulie Malignaggi, Antonio Tarver. I think they got the great Juan Manuel Marquez. I think Mayweather. Make sure you check him out. Link in the description. Roy Jones Jr., he talked about Canelo in his loss. He said, you already went up to 175. You went up, fought Sergey Kovalev. Now all of a sudden you lose. This is what Roy had to say about that news. Roll the clip.
Kovalev, what you going back to do it again for? Most of the time when you move up, you just want to move up to get a belt in that weight class and say you did it and you move on. Either you stay there or you get the heck going back where you came from, right?
Right.
You already did that. You did that when you beat Kovalev. What you going back to do it again for? You want to be two-time light heavyweight? What does that prove? So why would you even waste time messing with Bivol, who was a problem already? Why would you do that? So if you did that, that means that you thought that he would be easier than David BENAVIDEZ? Or you thought he might have been easier than Jermell Charlo? Or you the money man, you could have went and gave us something to see with fighting Dmitry ANDRADE. Why are you going to challenge another light heavyweight when you already accomplished that one time? You caught the right one, you did it. Get out and leave that alone. Don't keep going back and forth. You're going to confuse yourself.
Roy, you insinuating that this was a cherry pick gone wrong?
It was. It had to be.
Why would you do that? Roy Jones says, why would Canelo do that? Now, I pay attention to words, especially when legends speak like Roy Jones Jr. Now, one word, and you got to look at the phrasing. I think people say stuff and they say what they mean. There's a reason for it. Why would you do that? Now, pay special attention. If you didn't hear it, rewind it. Roy Jones said, you already went up. You fought at light heavyweight. You fought Sergey Kovalev. You caught you the right one. He said you caught the right one. Now, my interpretation of this is what I've been telling you. Sergey Kovalev, the world knows it was not the same Sergey Kovalev that Andre Ward fought, or even the leader Alvarez fought. But after trying fights, he was no longer the crusher. After the Ward grueling 2 fights, and yes, the first one was grueling, even for Kovalev. His body was getting abused. Then he got knocked out by Andre Ward in the second fight. The leader Alvarez, the first fight, he got knocked out, dropped like 3 times, etc. Canelo fought him years after that, after he avenged the leader Alvarez loss and almost got stopped by Anthony Yard. This is precisely what I told you. So listen to what Roy Jones, y'all must have forgot. Listen to what he said. He said, you caught the right one. Why would you do that? Meaning this is my interpretation of it. You lucked out. You caught a guy at the right time, just like you did Shane Mosley, just like Canelo did with Carlos Baldomir. You got guys who are 40, 41, older veteran fighters with a name, just like Canelo did with Kermit Cintron. He's made a whole career of this, right? Same thing with Kovalev. You picked on Kovalev, gave him no time to rest after a tough fight with Anthony Yard from the UK. He almost was knocked out in that fight. And if you don't believe me, go listen to Sergey Kovalev's own trainer, Buddy McGirt. Buddy McGirt said something to the effect of, Kovalev, if you give me another round like that, I'm throwing in the towel, because Kovalev was almost out of there. There's no reason for a former fighter and seasoned trainer like Buddy McGirt to warn or threaten his fighter with throwing in the white towel, aka waving the white flag, if he didn't think he was protecting his fighter or if his fighter was crucifying the opponent. So we all know Kovalev didn't look sensational, even though he came back to stop Yard. Yard was inexperienced, right? And still gave Kovalev a run for his money, right? And he had all domestic foes. So Canelo seen that and he was chomping at the bit, and that's why he picked Kovalev. And now you have a legend like Roy Jones Jr., baby. And he's like, he caught the right one, and you went in there messing with Bivol. Why would you do that? And now the Canelo man fans, the Chupapi Muñeños, are mirroring the sentiments of Boxing Ego and Roy Jones Jr. Why would you do that? Interestingly enough, Roy also said, why would you fight and pick on Bivol, who was bigger at this higher weight class? Did you want to be a 2-time champion? It just didn't really make sense when you could have fought guys like Jermell Charlo. Jermell Charlo would have had to move up from 160 to 168, being that Canelo was the A side in that equation. You could have fought a full-fledged David Benavidez, who's already at 168, and he's fighting this weekend on Showtime versus David Lemieux, and he's already showed videos and pictures that he's about to make weight. So I know the Canelo man fans, they say, oh, David Benavidez, he need to move up. He can't make weight anymore. Well, he looks days out from his fight. He looks on track to make weight, right? So he's taking it serious. He says he has more business at 168. Canelo could have fought him. Canelo chose his fate. He chose to pick on a bigger man, and it was a cherry pick gone wrong. Now you have the world of boxing telling you what Boxing Ego has been telling you. Cherry pick gone wrong. Now you have the world of boxing telling you what Boxing Ego on my channel has been telling you. The Kovalev fight was it was an advanced cherry pick, right? Good name, bigger guy, new division. So it looked like this crazy threat for Canelo, but you didn't fight the prime Kovalev. Funny enough, when I said these things in real time, like before the fight, I made videos, live streams, everything. Anyone who listened on my channel, I said these things. The videos are still up. You can go check them out if you don't believe. But if you believe in God, then believe in Boxing Ego, Death Row East. And I told you these things. And I guess it was unpopular, at least to the Canelo crowd. And now to build the fight, fast forward to the future, the week of fight week for the Bivol fight, everybody kept saying that, oh, this Dmitry Bivol fight, it's a better fight than the Kovalev because he's fresh. He's fresh. Eddie Hearn said it. DAZN commentary said it. They kept saying he was fresh. So what does that mean to Kovalev? So that's why old media, I can't get down with old media because all they do is lie. In real time, I said Kovalev was dead meat. You know, he was seen better days. He was not in his prime. He was in the twilight. And you guys said I was lying. Then to promote the fight, the whole talking point was how Bivol was a fresh fighter and there was no rehydration clause. So this is aged horrifically and horribly for old media because they claim Kovalev was a certified win. And I told you that fight looked FAF. All the videos are up. You guys could go watch. And if you don't believe, I'll make you believe because the content is still up. Yet and still, when I said the Kovalev Canelo fight looked FAF and something was up with that fight, you guys said, oh no, you're hating and stuff like that. So does that lend credence to what I was saying? Now that Canelo, it was very advertised that this particular Bivol fight had no rehydration clause. We all know Bivol had a full camp. And when a guy had rehydration clause removed, there was no rehydration clause. He could weigh whatever he wanted. And it was a full camp. Eddie Hearn confirmed this. Then now all of a sudden, Canelo looked trash and lost every round. So does that prove what Boxing Ego's been telling you to be false or true? Let me know that in the comment section. So with Roy Jones confirming it, this is vindication for me. If Canelo decides to duck Bivol, you made your bed. You got to lie in that. So if you don't fight Bivol, it's gonna Canelo. You know he's in no man's land because you were regarded as #1 pound for pound to many. If you duck Bivol, this is business that you started. And Bivol even said he'll meet you at 68 if need be, if the money's right. So if Eddie Hearn is say, oh no, go fight this 41, it shows you who Canelo is and shows his character. Because Jermell Charlo, when the world of boxing said he lost to Castano, guess what? He said, bump all them mandatories, bump fighting. He could have fought Jared Hurd or Luis Cuba Arias or somebody else. He says, no, I'm going to set the record straight. And he came back just like the Harrison fight. You have a black fighter from Houston, Texas, and Jermell Charlo set the record straight with Tony Harrison and beat the defining fight, the rematch. And then he knocked out also Castano, who some people thought he didn't beat. Boom. So I can't wait to see what Canelo decides and Eddie Hearn and DAZN. And especially since DAZN is now, after lying, in the pay-per-view business. I mean, good luck selling Canelo versus Triple G off the Murata performance where he didn't look great, and Canelo coming off of a loss. I mean, to me, that's a tough sell when it'll clearly show he's ducking Bivol. This is, again, a direction he chose. I have no remorse. I feel no empathy, no sympathy, not a shred of it. Canelo played dictator. He played big country or whatever he thought he was doing, and he picked Bivol, and he got it. He opened the can of worms when he could have easily went to Showtime, like I've been saying, like Roy is saying, and he could have fought Demetrius ANDRADE, who's on DAZN, or the Showtime deal, and fight guys like BENAVIDEZ, Charlo, even Errol Spence was offered at a catchweight, and he chose his fate. So you got to ride that one out. Let me know how I did in this particular video. Subscribe, as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego Sano. Introducing Super Thanks. Right here on the official Boxing Ego YouTube. Super Thanks allows you, the viewers, to show a little bit of extra gratitude, which enables me as a full-time content creator to push out the content you need in the world of boxing. Underneath all the videos, you will see a heart with the $sign in it. You can enter any amount that you find suitable as a super thanks. A brand new interactive and colorful way to get your comments highlighted and noticed by not only myself, but other people on the YouTube platform. Super thanks, a unique and cool way to show and applaud us full-time content creators. Hopefully you guys enjoy the content. Super thanks. The future is now. The Hibernation 5s by Kenichi Bear. Hybrid gaming and lifestyle headphones. Out of the box, you can connect to any console or PC. Bluetooth ready with a low latency USB adapter, color RGB, and extreme bass mode. The Hibernation 5s adjust to you. Whether you need a gaming, travel, gym, or lifestyle headphones, the Hibernations got you covered. The new Hibernation 5s, link in the description. Customize the way you hear the world. Welcome to the nation. Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TubeBuddy. I've used TubeBuddy for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TubeBuddy is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TubeBuddy and level up your channel faster. We working.